Sometimes the most unbearable pain isn't loud, it doesn't scream, it doesn't bleed, it just disappears. It's when you can't feel anything at all. Numbness, not peace, not calm, but a suffocating stillness that doesn't even let you cry, like your soul has left the room, and all that's left is skin and bone going through the motions. You smile, you talk, you eat, but you're not here. And that's what makes it so dangerous, because numbness doesn't warn you like sadness does. It's quiet, it's subtle, it's death and dressed as indifference. But here's the truth. What you're feeling right now, or rather, not feeling, it isn't failure. It's a signal, a hidden message from the soul. And the Danish philosopher Søren Kierkegaard, he understood it better than anyone. Kierkegaard called it the sickness unto death, but not a sickness of the body, of the self. He believed most people live in despair, but don't even realize it. They chase pleasure, play roles, follow trends, they call it life, but it's really escape. Aesthetic living, he called it, surface level, pleasurable, empty. And when that aesthetic life cracks, when the distractions stop working, you're left with this eerie silence, this numbness. That's when despair becomes visible. Kierkegaard believed we are layered beings. Our true self lies buried underneath the masks. But we forget, we avoid, we act. And numbness is what happens when that act mind collapses. It's not emotionless. It's the emotion of a soul, disconnected from itself. And that's why you're not broken. You're just being called back. The numbness is the breaking point, the moment the false self can no longer hold. That version of you that pleases everyone, that keeps quiet to fit in, that chases validation but never feels whole, that version must die. Because numbness isn't a malfunction, it's a pause, a sacred space between who you were and who you're meant to become. It's like a cocoon, still dark, silent, but inside something is unraveling, something ancient, something real. And yes, it's terrifying to lose what you thought you were. But what if that fear is proof you're getting close to the truth? This isn't the end. It's the sacred unraveling before rebirth. Let the false self fall away. Let the mask dissolve. The pain you feel in the numbness isn't emptiness, it's awakening. Now comes the most terrifying part, the leap. Kierkegaard called it the leap of faith, not into religion, but into existence, into yourself. The leap is when you stop living as a reaction, when you stop waiting for signs, stop performing for others, and choose fully, freely to be who you are. But here's the catch. There are no guarantees, no proof, no applause. Just the edge of the abyss, and you and numbness is often the moment right before that leap. It's the paralysis of almost choosing, of standing still at the threshold of freedom. But you don't have to leap into certainty. You only have to leap into truth. No more hiding, no more delay. Your soul is waiting for you to decide. Once the leap is made, everything slows down, not in a dramatic way, but in the quiet, sacred way you begin to feel again. You start to notice the warmth of your hands, the breath moving through your body, the subtle ache in your chest, not painful, just alive. This is where healing begins, not in escape, but in presence, in choosing to be here now without distraction, without pretending. Kierkegaard called it inwardness, a return to the self. Not the self you invented for others, but the one that watches, listens, feels. So don't rush it. Don't force emotion. Just sit with what is, even if it's silence, even if it's stillness. Because sometimes the soul speaks in the quiet between thoughts. In the stillness beneath your numbness, that's where life returns. That's where you return. Here's the paradox no one tells you. Numbness can be sacred. It's the soul's rebellion against a life. Untrue, the refusal to keep pretending, to keep performing. When nothing feels right anymore, that's when the truth is close. Because in the emptiness, there's space, and in that space, you meet the infinite. Call it God, call it consciousness, call it the divine. It's not above you, it's within you, and it's been waiting for the noise to stop. Numbness clears the stage, so something real can finally speak. And that something is ancient, silent, unshakable. Listen, you are not broken, you are on the edge of becoming. So here we are, not with a solution, but with a deeper truth. You're not numb because you're weak. You're numb because something inside you is tired of pretending, tired of noise, tired of lies. You are not shutting down. You are shedding. And Kierkegaard would say despair is not the end, it's the beginning of honesty, of life. So when you feel nothing, pause, listen, don't run. That numbness you feel, it might be the cracking of your old shell, and beneath it, water is moving, truth is rising. You're not falling apart, you're waking up, and that is the most powerful thing you'll ever do. What if the most dangerous emotion is the absence of emotion, not sadness, not fear, not even anger, but the eerie quiet of nothing, a numbness that sinks in silently. No panic, no drama, just emptiness. You smile at the right times, say the right words, do what's expected, but inside, it's all fog. This isn't peace. This is sleepwalking through your own life, and it's not just you. The world is filled with people who no longer feel anything real. People scrolling, working, talking, but underneath it all, they're disconnected from life itself. Søren Kierkegaard, a 19th century philosopher, called this the sickness unto death. But he wasn't talking about dying in the body. He was talking about a death of the soul, a quiet, invisible despair that we've learned to hide so well we forget it's even there. So the question is not, how do I stop feeling numb? The real question is, what is my numbness trying to tell me, and what happens if I finally listen? Kierkegaard believed most people are in despair, but they don't scream, they don't cry, they don't even know it, because despair is clever. It wears a mask. It looks like a stable job, a perfect marriage, a busy calendar, a full social life. But under it all there's a void. Kierkegaard called this the despair of the not-self, a life lived as someone else, as a role, as a performance, never touching the real you. You get through the day, but not through to yourself. You follow the script, but the actor inside is dying. Modern life is designed to keep us numb. Endless entertainment, constant stimulation, all carefully curated to help you avoid the one thing you truly need to face, your own being. When you feel numb, it's not a malfunction, it's a message. It's your soul saying something is missing. But here's the paradox, the numb don't feel the warning because they're standing at the edge of something infinite. Left unchecked, numbness doesn't stay. Numb, it deepens, hardens, hollows you out. At first it's just boredom, then it becomes detachment, and finally, you stop believing anything really matters. This is the abyss Kierkegaard warned about. A place where your spirit folds in on itself, where life becomes mechanical, and everything starts to feel like, why bother? This isn't laziness, it's spiritual exhaustion. He called it the despair of never becoming a self, of drifting so far from your essence you forget you even had one. But here's the truth he offers. The abyss is not a punishment. It's a threshold. The numbness is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a different kind of truth, a truth that terrifies and liberates in equal measure. Kierkegaard believed that beneath every despair is a self longing to be born, and numbness, it's the labor pain of that birth. You cannot escape the fog by chasing feelings. You cannot force passion to return by distraction or willpower. Instead, you must return to yourself, not your surface self, not the name, the job, the personality, but the deeper self, the part of you that never fit in, the part of you that whispers in quiet moments. There is more than this. Kierkegaard said that becoming a self is the most painful, most essential act of life, because to do so, you must stand naked before yourself, without excuses, masks, or pretenses. It starts with honesty, radical honesty, where Am I pretending? Where have I betrayed my own truth? What parts of me have I buried just to survive? The path out of numbness begins not with action, but with awareness. The awareness that your soul is not gone. It's just waiting for you to stop running, waiting for you to turn inward, waiting for you and to come home. The most terrifying moment is when you finally decide to feel again, because feeling means risk. It means opening, it means becoming vulnerable to pain, but also, finally, alive. Kierkegaard spoke of the leap of faith, not as blind belief in dogma, but as a bold step into the unknown, a decision to trust something deeper than logic, to trust the soul, to believe that your life has meaning, even if you can't see it yet. The leap is not about having answers. It's about surrendering the illusion of control. It's about saying, I don't know where this leads, but I can't stay asleep. To choose to feel again is to rebel against numbness, to reclaim your humanness, your fire, your ache, your wonder. You don't have to know how. You just have to leap, because numbness cannot follow you, into the fire of your own awakening.